Okay, so this is piecewise functions where you have pieces of lines that you're going to graph. So you can choose to graph it all the way in pencil and then erase what you don't want for the graph for the final product, or you can just go from where you need to go. So I'm going to zoom in here for those equations. So these right here, so remember that f of x is really the y. And these are two separate y equals mx plus b, in other words, slope-intercept equations that you're going to graph. But you're going to grab pieces of it. So right here, these are what we call your constraints. So this y equals 5x minus 2 is if x is less than 1. That's the only part of that line that we are going to graph. And this second one, only things that are greater than or equal to 1. Now, when we did compound inequalities, and we graph them on a number line, a straight number line, not a 4-quadrant grid, we had open dots and closed dots. So remember that your open dots, where you just basically an open dots like this, and you don't color it in. That's anytime it says greater than or less than. You color it in, that means it includes it. So when you do piecewise, see how these both are the same number, they're gonna kind of stack, but remember to make a function, you can't have two that stack. So one has to not include the number and one has to include it if these are the same. Now, not all of the equations will have your constraints as the same number. One might say greater than 2, one might say less than or equal to -5. So those would be completely separate on your graph. These ones are going to kind of connect on the same x value. Let me zoom up a little bit. Oops, wrong way. Zoom out a little bit so that we can see the graph. Okay, so there's a couple ways that you can graph. So we're going to graph them one at a time. This is really y equals 5x minus 2. So you can graph your y-intercept, which is -2. And remember your slope is rise over run. So that's really 5 over 1. So I'm going to rise 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run to the right 1 because these are both positive. Okay, and there's 1 here. Now remember, my constraint was 1, and that's where I am. And because I'm doing the first one, I'm going to make an open dot. And so my line, all of the x values have to be less than 1, so we're going this way. So we're not going to graph anything on this side. So right now we have these two dots, which we could keep going, or we can just line it up and keep going. Or if we want to get a more accurate angle, we can try one more. What if I put a -1 in here? What if this was -1? 5 times -1 is -5, plus -2 is -7. Okay, so -5, -7. Or you can use your slope. Remember that you're going the other way, so make these both negative. That means you're going to go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the left 1. Okay. So this is your graph here. And I'm sorry, I don't have my straight edge with me at the moment. So we are going to improvise with the magazine. So I'm not going past my 1. I'm going to just do this. And then remember to put an arrow on the end because it's going to go to infinity in that direction. And you're going to want to label them. This is your, so that you know which one's which, especially if you are in a class period or a math level where your systems of inequalities have like 5 different lines on them. Okay, so you kind of have a piecewise system going on right here. So this is the first one. Now the second one's the same thing. Y equals x minus 7, but we are going to go above 1. So we're going to start with 1 because it includes it, and then we're going to make our graph, we're only going to use the part of the graph that goes to the right. So I am at -7 on my y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this dot right here. Okay, and my slope is to go up 1 to the right 1. Okay, and remember we're at 1, so we need to fill this dot in. We're gonna make him bigger so that we see that. Okay, that means that I have to, actually, it's not gonna include this guy right here because remember it's greater than or equal to, so we're gonna keep going up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. That's our slope. And we are going to graph it only, so we're not going to use this y-intercept because our constraint says greater than or equal to 1, positive 1, and we're at positive 1 right here. And we are going to try to line that guy up. And we are going to, again, oops, sorry, off the grid, put an arrow on it, and we have just successfully graphed our system of piecewise. We're gonna label this one f of x equals x minus 7. So that if they're like, well, which one's which, and they ask you questions in class, you have it labeled, and you don't have to go back if there's 50,000 lines on there and going, wait, which one's which? So hopefully that helped, and good luck with the next problems.